It's your girl Jay. Excuse me. Hi, Sagittarius. Look at me all out of order. It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess. Back at it again with the general tarot reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2023. Usually my camera is on this side, and so my eyes are trained to go in a different direction. And so there's stuff coming up for you, maybe about muscle memory, about having different kinds of breakthroughs. When I leaned into your energy, it felt lighter, it felt jovial, it felt, I felt movement. And so I do feel like your ruling planet, Jupiter, the planet of luck, fortune, philosophy, expansion, higher learning, in the sign of Aries, where it's been for a minute now, not been, but it's like been in Aries for a minute, and now the sun is getting ready to come into Aries, and the sun is exalted in Aries. And so your ruling planet, Jupiter, is getting ready to conjunct with an exalted sun. So the sun at like full capacity. And this is a time for you to, if you were ever gonna shoot your shot, if you were ever gonna like take the leap of faith, if you were ever gonna go for it, if ever you were gonna just truly dive in, now is the season. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising, Sagittarius. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/justjeverything. Over there we dive deep and clarify each card. Clarify each card. And there's also like tons of other astrological content over there. Able to get daily readings. But check it out. Patreon.com/justjeverything. For other dope shit that I do, my website, justjeverything.com. Everything is in the description box below, so have your fill. Sagittarius. Also, be sure to check out the Aries season astrology video that has all of the important astrological dates for this season that you need to pay attention to. That day when you're like, why is he acting like that? That's the video for you. Go check that one out. Also, hydrate. Light it if you got it. As we create a safe space for our benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2023. Creating a safe space. Yes. The energy just, I don't know. This is the best side. This has felt the best for me. So Sagittarius, I just feel like you're feeling it. And maybe because I'm an Aries sun, but it's just, you know, and your ruling planet is at my sign. I just feel like there's not a lot of opportunity for fun, for movement. So hydrate, light it if you got it. Take a moment with me and empty your lungs. And take a deep breath through your nose and hold it at the top. Exhale out of your mouth. One more time, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Empty your lungs. Inhale at the top through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Thank you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For Aries season 2023. I also feel like there's something about like getting comfortable in your skin, moving forward. The Knight of Pentacles keeps wanting to come out. Almost flipped over, but the first card's out, and I gotta honor this, are the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay, so there's okay, that makes sense because Jupiter is hanging out with fucking Chiron's fuck ass. The wounded healer, Chiron in Aries, is really forcing the collective to evaluate, or it's like forcing everybody to face our identity wounds. And Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising in Aries season. Aries is the baby, the child of the zodiac. So there could be stuff coming up with like being a child, your childhood, possible like stuff going on with abandonment, feeling left out in the cold, feeling like the black sheep, holding yourself back from saying things, restrictions in the mind, things that you want, so much that you want to say, but you don't know like where to start. There's maybe even a healing that needs to happen with someone with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius is also indicated here. I feel like there's been a lot of like negative, this is like confrontation or argument or accusatory energy. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, maybe if it's not you, for some of you, you're having a real dip in your mental health or how you take care of yourself, and it's time to prioritize that. You are not meant to be spending long periods of time in stages of pessimism. You are privy, of course, to grief, and you will experience grief, and grief will make you doubt all kinds of things. But Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I do feel like you are in the position to still find like the silver lining or faith. Once you take the time to realize what you're holding on to, because how I looked at it is the Four of Pentacles, and I know that's the Ten of Cups. What you don't realize, there's stuff, there's the good is coming. You are the Wheel of Fortune, and you have to understand that there are seasons for everything. There is a season for being up, there is a season for being down. And as a human, you are promised both. You are promised pain and pleasure. And so there is something about really allowing yourself to be able to navigate the contrast, being able to navigate your shadows. Some of you, you're needing, the first thing out to be clarified on the Selenite throne is your relationship to money, your relationship to your self-worth is your number one thing. Because your issues with your self-worth are definitely informing whatever financial stuff is going on right now. They always inform each other. Money is an energy, and I feel like your connection to your self-worth dictates your relationship to the energy of money. But some of you have been playing Captain Save-A-Ho, have been really like taking the brunt of the storm and showing up for, you know, like a lot of people, and I feel like it's commendable, it's admirable, it's beautiful, but I do feel like at some point you've got to acknowledge when to tap out, when you're drained. Some of you are thinking about quitting. Some of you hate the job that you're working at or hate the kind of work that you're doing, and you're really wanting to get into another field, but you're afraid of speaking up, it's like you're afraid of thinking about it. You're afraid of thinking that, even thinking about making these changes. For some of you, and I feel like others of you, I feel like there's like some ugly stuff coming up from like maybe the childhood or adolescence in some way. I feel like some of you are like having aha moments about like, oh shit, that was traumatic. Or, oh shit, I've never expressed this. Or, oh shit, I think I need to talk to my, parent about this. Or I think I need to talk to this person about this. Some of you may have been dealing with people who have, like, maybe you've been a caretaker, or you've been showing up for somebody who can't show up for themselves fully. Maybe you've been dealing with people who are helpless or handicapped or struggling with mental illness. Some people who, I feel like also there are people who are very combative around you. People who This feels like argumentative. The Knight of Swords reversed is somebody that does not think before they speak. And I feel like it's really important for you to address the, for some of you, it's like the elephant in the room. For some of you, it's like it's time to get to the root of why you're upset. And you're upset because I feel like some people aren't showing up for you the way that you show up for them. I feel like you're ready for a change of scenery. And if you don't start speaking your truth, I feel like your shadow is ready to go autonomous and rise up and have you doing some stupid shit that you could possibly regret, or even saying some stupid shit that you could possibly regret. I feel like it's really, really important to prioritize journaling, communication, establishing boundaries, saying what needs to be said, figuring out how to stand up for yourself and orate, or learning how to establish boundaries and enforce those boundaries. Nice, because at the center of the reading is the excuse me, the Ace of Cups. And so I like how this looks. I feel like some of you, it's like, ooh, I just saw like you running, screaming, crying, angry, and you fall into the hands of the divine. Some of you, I feel like there's this outpouring of unconditional love, outpouring of spirit, outpouring of nurturing that is available to you, especially those of you who are feeling stuck, immobile, who are numbing, who are trying to numb something out versus recovering. Some of you are running from like your mind, and you've been running from your mind, or running from painful memories, or running from some sort of darkness or shadow, or running from discomfort or dissatisfaction for so long that it just feels like the divine, don't put the divine in the position where it has to like stagnate you. And some of you, you're stagnating yourself. Center of the reading is what's going on with your ability to receive. You are the planet of luck. And you just give and give and give. It's so easy for you to give. But however, darling, are you to receive this Ace of Cups if you stay stagnant and keep your hands bound and keep your hands tied behind your back and immobilize yourself? So I do feel like there is this outpouring of love that's coming to your thoughts, your shame, your grief, guilt. All of that stuff is coming up and it's coming out. And like there is this influx of love coming in. Let's get the final card, final message. But I do feel like there's this influx of love and compassion that is flowing over from Pisces season into Aries season. And those of you who are struggling with addiction, I feel like, don't think like you're out of the woods yet. I feel like don't be so cocky about it. Possibly, I just feel like there's heavy-hitting stuff that's coming up, heavy-hitting wounds, really important conversations, and if you keep evading the pain, and if you keep numbing or not dealing with stuff, I just feel like addiction is going to be expressing itself in different ways. Seven of Cups is the final card, and okay, there you are, showing up on the bottom of the deck. Temperance. I feel like there's big recovery. There's stuff going on with recovery for you guys. And it doesn't have to be for drugs for everybody, or alcohol. But I do feel like there are upsetting situations. You may feel like, some of you may feel lonely or left out or homesick or untethered or disconnected. But I do feel like this season is happening, and these emotions and these experiences are happening, going down like this, because you need the contrast of darkness. Sagittarius is the most optimistic sign. You guys are known for being like the eternal optimist. And so when things start to happen and you start to experience pessimism, trust and believe it's just for science. It's just because you need this contrast, and it's the divine's way of getting you back to you. And I feel like there is a need to figure out the fine line between being narcissistic and self-oriented. So there is this need to reconnect with your emotions, reconnect with your water, reconnect with flow. There's expansion that wants to come in. There's this brand new path to this new place of empowerment, upliftment, clarity. But you got a long road, you know, to do that. And the road needs to be with people who uplift you, not people that siphon from you or you have to constantly take care of. So I feel like Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, there is something going on with like your friends or who you're around or your relation or friends or lack thereof, you know, a need to maybe check the team. Because if you're the most like progressive or spiritual or ambitious one in the group, then who's challenging you? And if you have a fucking goal and something that you're trying to accomplish, especially if you're trying to stay sober, or if you're trying to, you know, improve your grades, or if you're trying to, you know, become an entrepreneur or do something, whatever it is, if you have a goal and everyone around you just wants to party and bullshit, that's gonna present some problems. And if you keep aligning yourself to people, okay, let's say for instance you are in recovery. If you keep aligning yourself to people who are not in recovery and who do want to party and, you know, and don't have issues with like addiction or anything like that, but you do, that's going to present a problem. I feel like there ain't nothing but space and opportunity for you to get real close to the divine and for you to experience unconditional love, for you to experience an influx of love, creativity. You really have the opportunity to figure out how life is with you being at a surplus, your cup running over, versus you constantly running on E and constantly pouring from an empty cup. Because also when you do that, Sagittarius, you need to know that you're not really helping or showing up the way that you think you are. When you're depleted, all you're doing is pouring your depletion into other people, and that depletion begets depletion. You may think you're helping, it may look like you've done stuff, but you're not at full capacity. You know what I mean? And so if you are, I'm telling you, this season, the goal is to realize you are a spirit having a human experience, and in this human experience, it is your sole responsibility to tend to the fulfillment of your cup, aka the fullness of your life. Making sure that you have a life and that you feel complete and that you're having fun and all of that, that's your job. No one else is going to come in and do that. There will be no baby, no husband, no wife, no accomplishment that will ever fill that void within. The only thing that can fill that void is the fabric of the divine. And so Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you're being asked to prioritize your self-worth, your self-care, redefine self-worth, self-care, understanding self-care and self-love are not luxuries. It's part of the job. It's the name of the game. You're going to be asked to reevaluate your relationship to this Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Somebody is not contributing positively to you. I feel like there's people in your life, multiple people in your life, who are just contributing to the drama and the perpetuation of trauma and these ongoing trauma bonds that you have known need to be severed. You know what ties need to be cut, but you're so scared to do it because you know in order to cut it, you're going to have to march into battle, or you're going to have to be combative. And I'm letting you know your ruling planet is in the sign that is ruled by the god of war. You gonna learn how to war today, baby. I'm letting you know. You're gonna learn in Sagittarius season, in Aries season, how to stand up for yourself, how to tell it like it is, and how to do it appropriately. Because Sagittarius, usually you guys don't have a struggle. You guys are known for being kind of blunt And I think y'all are more blunt than Aries are. But I feel like you have yet to learn how to temper it. And I feel like that's what's happening. Some of you, you just don't have it in you to, sugarcoat it and slather all your shit with sweetness. You don't have it in you. But the divine, I'm telling you, is calling you. There is a quest of love. There is something that means that's really important that you need to be investing your time, money, and energy into. It's something creative. It's something beautiful. And it may be, and it's not just a romantic partner, though, for some of you. Damn, okay. Though for some of you, yes, a romantic partner is coming in. But how are you going to ask somebody to love you, flaws and all, and you don't even know what all your flaws are, or can't even acknowledge all of them, or don't love those sides of yourself, you know? You figure out how to love you, flaws and all. You figure out how to fill your cup completely, independently. Because you are definitely being called to get unstuck, to evaluate your shadow. You're being called to dream again, because there's so much that you want to do and you don't know where to start. And where you need to start is being brave enough to look at your shadow. And if you don't do it in Aries season, you will be doing it in Taurus season. And that's in Taurus season. And that's why this is like, do this shit now. Tend to this now. Because some of you, it's like, there's 2202, I just saw it. It's time to get masterful with your words. There are things that you're holding yourself back from saying. There are truths that need to be spoken. There's a radical shift of the mind that I feel like is happening, or some of you are trying to stunt that growth or repress, because you know that once your mind changes, and I just saw 2222, once you get masterful, you can't, not all these people can come with you. Not all this behavior can come with you. It's like when I was a child, it was childish shit. Now that I'm trying to like grow up and, ride around and get it, I'm gonna have to put away my childish shit. I feel like someone who's really Southern understood that sentence, and that was for you. If you want some shit you never had before, you're gonna have to do some stuff you've never done to get it. And I feel like some of the stuff that you've never done is really be willing to, some of you, this is like, hey, consider going to therapy, talking to a professional. None of us were born with the tools that we need to heal our own traumas, which is why we are a social species. And so I do feel like there's somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements that there's just like some confusion or fights or shifting with, or but I do feel like there's beautiful like restoration and fulfillment. I just feel like it's time to really start focusing on your toxic habits, tendencies, your toxic connections. There may be somebody with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements that you're having an argument with, or that they say something rude, or they go below the belt or something like that. And I do feel like there's replenishment and healing that comes once you really put your defenses down, and really allow yourself to see like beyond the veil, to allow yourself to really see like what's going on, what's behind these words, what's really behind these thoughts. I feel like some of you you're growing up, you're growing out of things, I feel like there's stuff that's coming in that you feel confused about. The closer you get to Taurus season, I I feel like some of you just may be feeling confused. Like, what do I do? What do I want to do? Why do I feel stuck? I feel like you have the opportunity to really dive into your passions. I feel like you're being asked to be quiet, be still, be intentional about your alone time, be more intentional about your alone time, so you can really figure out what it is that you want to do and start making a plan towards being your most authentic self and building a life that you want to live, that you feel really proud of. And you need to figure out what that looks like. Some of you, these are big changes in career. Some of you, this is about like leaving a job. Some of you, this is about you want to quit a job, but I just feel like some of you need a plan. Some of you, you already quit the job. You don't have a plan, and I'm telling you, you need to just get your mind right. The divine will be making a way where you don't see a way. You're being absolutely given the opportunity to recognize why you felt stuck or what area you feel stuck in, and dream up the life that you want. But in order for you to dream up the life that you want, you got to access that side of you that doesn't believe or feel worthy of having it. So what's in the shadow? And I feel like for some of you, you can't see the fullness of your shadow. No one can see the fullness of their shadow, but I feel like some of you, you're learning a lot about yourself by way of other people. And there's so much that you want to do, so much that you're good at, so much that you're capable of. It's just time for you to really get to the root of why you're afraid to pick something, why you're afraid to go for it, why you're afraid, what's going on with the stagnation, or what's going on with the cloudiness of the mind. I just feel like there's clarity. I feel like there's freedom from addiction. There's stuff going on with addiction or breaking habits, breaking toxic habits and behaviors and connections. You are getting back to you, and you're getting back into flow come hell or high water. I hope to see you on Patreon, Sagittarius. Patreon.com/justjeverything. Let's get into it. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.